Who am I? It's not just a question, it's a whisper that echoes in the quietest corners of your mind, especially in moments of doubt. Think back. As a teenager, you stood at the crossroads of your future, overwhelmed by choices and the fear of making the wrong one. Then came the grind. Graduation, work, bills, family. Life became a routine, a blur of responsibilities. And now, here you are, staring at the mirror, feeling the weight of an unsettling truth. You still don't know who you truly are or what you truly want. Does it have to be this way? Or is there still time to find yourself? Has life become monotonous? Or have you drifted so far that you no longer recognize the person you've become? These moments of self-discovery aren't uncommon, but they can be life-changing. If you've ever wondered, who am I? This is the perfect time to start your journey toward clarity and meaning. In this video, we'll explore practical steps rooted in Stoic philosophy, a timeless guide to cultivating inner peace, emotional resilience, and purposeful living. Through its teachings, you'll learn how to define your core values, align your actions with your principles, and overcome the fears that hold you back. Stay with me until the end, when I'll share actionable strategies to apply these lessons effectively in your daily life. These insights have transformed countless lives, including mine, and they can do the same for you. If you find this message valuable, share it with someone who might need it. A friend, a family member, or even a colleague. A small act like this could change their life. Let's begin. 1. Define your core values. In life, we are constantly asked questions that shape our future. What are your dreams? Where will you be in 10 years? How will you live the next decade to create the future you desire? These questions, while seemingly straightforward, often feel overwhelming because they touch the very foundation of our identity, our core values. Let's pause and reflect. What defines you? Is it the pursuit of success, the love for your family, or the drive to leave a legacy? More often than not, the things we believe we can or cannot achieve stem not from our actual capabilities, but from the identity we've built for ourselves. This identity, if unclear, becomes a barrier, a self-imposed limitation. Take, for instance, a 42-year-old construction worker. For years, his life revolved around work. He took on large projects, often at the expense of spending time with his family. One day, his young daughter asked, "Dad, why are you always so busy? Can't you come to my school play?" Her innocent question pierced through the fog of his routine. At that moment, he realized he had missed countless precious moments with his family. After deep reflection, he discovered his core value, family. While his career was important, it was his role as a father and husband that truly defined him. This realization changed everything. He began prioritizing time with his loved ones, ensuring that his work served his family, not the other way around. We all have core values waiting to be uncovered. These values are not arbitrary. They are the compass that guides our decisions, shapes our priorities, and gives our lives meaning. Yet, many of us drift through life unaware of them, chasing goals that don't align with who we are. Stoic philosophy teaches us, know thyself. The wisdom of the Stoics reminds us that self-awareness is the foundation of inner peace and a meaningful life. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." In the same way, when you understand your core values, you stop questioning your worth and start living in alignment with your true self. Consider this. If you value personal growth but spend your days in stagnation, your spirit will ache with discontent. If you value connection but neglect your relationships, loneliness will shadow your steps. However, when you live in harmony with your values, even the most mundane days become fulfilling. To uncover your core values, ask yourself, what do I stand for? What principles will I not compromise? What legacy do I want to leave behind? Answering these questions may not be easy, but the clarity they bring is life-changing. For those who feel lost, who wonder if life has more to offer, this journey begins with introspection. Close your eyes, silence the noise, and listen to the whispers of your soul. The answers are there. They have always been there, waiting for you to discover them. Remember, your core values are not just traits or ideas. They are the essence of who you are. When you define them, you define yourself. And in doing so, you unlock the power to live with purpose, peace, and fulfillment. 2. Don't define yourself by external success. We live in a world where success is measured by what is visible: titles, wealth, possessions, and accolades. Yet when you pause and reflect, you may find that these external markers often feel hollow. They do not fill the void within, nor do they answer the deeper question: who am I? Consider the story of a man who spent decades chasing success. His life revolved around promotions, luxurious vacations, and expensive cars. From the outside, he seemed to have it all, but in moments of solitude, he felt a profound emptiness. He realized that while he had gained much, he had lost himself in the process. In Stoic philosophy, Seneca reminds us, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." This truth resonates deeply in our modern age. When we define ourselves by external success, we place our worth in things that can be taken away: a promotion denied, a market crash, or the fleeting approval of others. Imagine standing at the peak of a mountain, holding a trophy. The world applauds, yet inside, there is silence. This is the paradox of defining yourself by external achievements. While they may bring temporary recognition, they cannot sustain lasting fulfillment. The danger lies in the trap of comparison. Social media and society at large magnify this struggle. You scroll through curated snapshots of others' lives and wonder, why not me? Why don't I have that? This cycle of envy erodes your peace and distracts you from what truly matters: your inner values and purpose. The Stoics teach us that true success comes from within. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. This timeless lesson reminds us to focus not on what we have, but on who we are. Ask yourself, if I lost my job today, if my possessions vanished tomorrow, who would I be? The answer lies in your character, your principles, and your inner peace. These are things no external force can take from you. Real success is quiet. It is found in the moments when you act with integrity, love without condition, and stand firm in your values. It is the courage to face challenges with grace and the wisdom to know that your worth is not tied to what you achieve, but to who you are. To let go of the need for external validation, start by appreciating the present. Reflect on what you already have: the relationships, the lessons learned, and the growth experienced. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance, helping you see that you are enough as you are. True fulfillment begins when you stop seeking approval from others and start living authentically. This doesn't mean abandoning ambition, but aligning it with your core values. Pursue goals that resonate with your soul, not those imposed by societal expectations. In the end, external success fades. The applause will quiet, and the trophies will collect dust. What remains is the essence of who you are. Embrace that essence. It is there within you that you will find the true measure of success. 3. Build a clear life purpose. Few people know from an early age where they truly belong. Mathematicians, musicians, and chefs often show their passion as early as 4 or 5 years old. Physicists may decide their career path in their teens, or even earlier. But for most of us, especially those with varied talents, the journey to discovering our purpose often stretches into adulthood. By the time we reach 25, however, we are expected to have some clarity. We should be able to answer 3 critical questions. What are my strengths? How do I work best? And what are my core values? Yet for many, these answers remain elusive, leaving a lingering sense of confusion and despair. Imagine standing in the middle of a vast, open field with no clear direction. This is what life feels like without a purpose. Days blur into weeks, and years slip by without meaning. You work, you achieve, and yet you feel adrift. This lack of purpose can drain even the brightest soul, leaving behind a hollow shell of existence. The Stoics understood the importance of clarity. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." This teaching reminds us that the chaos we feel often stems from within, a lack of alignment between our actions and our purpose. To build a clear life purpose, start by examining your strengths. What do you do naturally, effortlessly, and with joy? Reflect on your values. What principles do you stand by, even when it's difficult? And finally, consider your passions. What ignites your spirit and makes time feel irrelevant? These answers form the foundation of your purpose. Think of purpose as the North Star in your life. It doesn't dictate every step, but ensures you're moving in the right direction. For example, a teacher's purpose might be to inspire learning, while an artist's purpose could be to evoke emotion through their work. Purpose gives our lives structure and significance, transforming even the mundane into something meaningful. Yet, discovering purpose isn't always immediate. It requires patience and introspection. Take the example of a talented woman who spent years excelling in finance, only to realize she felt unfulfilled. After much reflection, she discovered her true calling was to mentor young professionals, helping them navigate their careers. She shifted her focus and found a renewed sense of joy and meaning. The journey to purpose begins with a single step, asking yourself, what do I want my legacy to be? This question forces you to look beyond temporary desires and focus on what truly matters. It requires honesty and courage to confront the possibility that you may need to change direction, but the rewards are immeasurable. Seneca once said, "Life is long if you know how to use it." Living with purpose ensures that your days are not just spent, but invested. Your actions align with your goals, and every moment becomes a step toward fulfilling your potential. In a world full of distractions, clarity is a gift you give yourself. Define your life's purpose, and you will find not only direction, but also peace. The road may be uncertain, but with purpose as your guide, it will always lead to meaning. 4. Act instead of overthinking. In the quiet corners of our minds, dreams often linger. Some dream of entering the tech industry, imagining a future filled with innovation and opportunity. They spend countless hours researching online courses, watching tutorials, and envisioning the life they could have. Yet, each time they decide to start, hesitation creeps in. I'm not ready. I don't have enough time. Months turn into years, and the dream remains just that, a dream. The problem isn't the lack of resources or knowledge. It's the inability to take the first step. The Stoics understood this paralysis well. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. The essence of this wisdom is simple. Stop overthinking. Start doing. Overthinking is a thief of action. It cloaks fear in the guise of preparation, convincing us that waiting will lead to the perfect moment. But perfection is an illusion. The truth is that action clarifies what overthinking obscures. Only by doing can we understand ourselves and the world. Consider this. You've likely faced moments when you hesitated to act, only to realize later that starting wasn't as daunting as you imagined. Whether it's learning a new skill, pursuing a passion, or changing careers, the greatest hurdle is often the first step. Take the story of a young woman who dreamed of becoming a writer. For years, she consumed books on writing, attended workshops, and meticulously planned her novel. Yet she never wrote a single chapter. Her breakthrough came not from another class, but from sitting down and writing, flawed and imperfect as it was. That single act transformed her life. Seneca wisely said, "Begin at once to live, and count each separate day as a separate life." This advice urges us to treat every moment as an opportunity to act. Waiting for the right time is a mirage. The right time is now. To move beyond overthinking, start small. Break your goal into manageable steps. If you want to learn coding, sign up for a beginner's course today. Dedicate 15 minutes each day to practice. The key is to build momentum. Fear is natural, but action diminishes it. Each small step chips away at doubt and builds confidence. Progress, no matter how incremental, fuels motivation. As you act, you'll gain clarity about your path and discover strengths you didn't know you had. The Stoics also teach us to detach from the outcome. Epictetus wrote, "Make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens." Focus on what you can control, your effort, your persistence, and let go of the rest. Ask yourself, what's the smallest step I can take today toward my dream? It could be as simple as writing a paragraph, practicing a skill, or reaching out to a mentor. These small actions, repeated consistently, have the power to transform your life. Stop waiting for the perfect plan, the perfect moment, or the perfect conditions. Perfection is not the goal. Progress is. And progress begins with action. Remember, every great achievement starts with a single step. Take that step today. Your future self will thank you. 5. Face challenges to understand yourself. No one will ever understand you better than you can understand yourself. But self-understanding is not handed to us. It is forged in the fires of adversity. Challenges are the mirrors that reflect who we truly are, beyond the masks we wear and the roles we play. Think about the last time life truly tested you. Perhaps it was the loss of a job, the end of a relationship, or the weight of an impossible decision. In those moments, you may have felt lost, unsure of your strength. But when you look back, you see that those trials revealed something essential: your resilience, your values, and your ability to persevere. The Stoics believe that challenges are opportunities for growth. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This timeless wisdom reminds us that obstacles are not barriers, but stepping stones to a deeper understanding of ourselves. Consider a young man who lost his business after years of hard work. At first, he was consumed by shame and self-doubt, but as he rebuilt his life, he realized that his identity was never tied to his success. It was his courage, his determination, and his integrity that defined him. The challenge stripped away what was superficial and revealed his core. Challenges force us to confront truths about ourselves that we might otherwise avoid. They expose our fears, our weaknesses, but also our strengths. They teach us that failure is not the end but a beginning, a chance to start again, armed with wisdom and experience. Imagine a sailor navigating a storm. Calm seas don't test the sailor's skill. Storms do. In the same way, life's challenges are the storms that test and refine us. Without them, we remain untested, unaware of our true capabilities. Seneca said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." This insight highlights the necessity of hardship for personal growth. Each challenge you face, whether great or small, is an opportunity to strengthen your spirit and sharpen your character. To face challenges effectively, embrace them with curiosity. Ask yourself, what is this teaching me? How can I grow from this experience? Shifting your perspective transforms obstacles into teachers and struggles into lessons. Fear often accompanies challenges, but it doesn't have to paralyze you. Epictetus reminds us, men are disturbed not by things, but by the views they take of them. When you shift your focus from fear to learning, the weight of the challenge lessens, and your capacity to overcome it grows. Start small. Face minor discomforts and learn to navigate them. Gradually, you'll build the courage to tackle larger challenges. Reflect on each experience, noting what you learned and how you changed. Over time, this process becomes a source of strength and clarity. In the end, challenges are not just tests, they are gifts. They strip away illusions, uncovering the truth of who we are. They reveal our resilience, redefine our values, and deepen our understanding of ourselves. So, the next time life places an obstacle in your path, embrace it. Let it teach you, mold you, and guide you closer to the person you were always meant to be. For it is in facing challenges that we truly find ourselves. 6. Accept imperfection. In a world that often glorifies perfection, accepting imperfection can feel like a radical act. Yet it is one of the most liberating steps on the journey to self-discovery. Each of us is born with unique strengths, limitations, and roles. Acknowledging these truths is not a sign of weakness, but a profound act of wisdom. Some people excel in teams, finding energy and creativity in collaboration. Others thrive in solitude, crafting their best work in quiet focus. There are those born to lead, decisive and commanding, while others shine as advisors, offering clarity and insight without carrying the weight of final decisions. The Stoics remind us that true fulfillment comes from embracing who we are, not from striving to be something we are not. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Look within. Within is the fountain of good, and it will ever bubble up if thou wilt ever dig." This timeless wisdom urges us to look inward and find contentment in our authentic selves. Imagine someone thrust into a leadership role they are ill-suited for, or conversely, someone born to lead but trapped in a role that stifles them. Both scenarios breed frustration, not because of a lack of effort, but because of a misalignment between their nature and their circumstances. Accepting imperfection doesn't mean settling for less. It means aligning your life with your strengths and values. Perfection is an illusion that creates unrealistic expectations, both from ourselves and others. It whispers, "You are not enough," and convinces us that we must constantly strive to be more. But perfection isn't what makes us valuable. It's our humanity. Our flaws, vulnerabilities, and individuality are what connect us to others and give us purpose. Seneca offers us this insight. "What progress, you ask, have I made? I have begun to be a friend to myself." This simple statement is profound. When you accept your imperfections, you begin to see yourself with kindness and compassion. You stop comparing yourself to an unattainable ideal and start valuing the unique person you are. Ask yourself, what are my natural strengths? What roles bring me joy and fulfillment? Reflect on how you function best. Are you a thoughtful advisor or a bold decision maker? Do you thrive in the creative chaos of teamwork, or do you find clarity in solitude? Acknowledging your limits doesn't diminish you, it empowers you. It allows you to channel your energy into areas where you can truly excel, rather than exhausting yourself trying to fit a mold that was never meant for you. The world doesn't need perfect people. It needs authentic ones. It needs individuals who embrace their roles with integrity and humility, and who understand that imperfection is not a flaw, but a feature of being human. In accepting imperfection, you answer the question, who am I? You discover your unique place in the world and find peace in knowing that you are enough. So let go of the need to be perfect. Instead, strive to be honest, compassionate, and true to yourself. For it is in our imperfections that we find our greatest strengths and our deepest connections. 7. Confront fear and insecurity. Fear is a universal experience. It whispers doubts into our minds and erects barriers to growth. Yet, paradoxically, fear is also the doorway to self-discovery. By confronting our fears, we not only uncover our hidden strengths, but also redefine our understanding of ourselves. The Stoics understood fear as a product of our perceptions. Epictetus wrote, "Men are not disturbed by things, but by the views they take of them." In other words, fear is not rooted in external circumstances, but in our interpretation of those circumstances. When we challenge those interpretations, we take the first step toward freedom. Consider the story of a man paralyzed by the fear of public speaking. For years, he avoided situations that required him to speak in front of others, convinced he lacked the ability. But when life presented an opportunity he couldn't ignore, he reluctantly agreed to give a short talk. It wasn't perfect, his voice shook and his palms sweat, but he discovered something unexpected. He survived. That single act of bravery began a transformation, showing him that his fears, though real, were conquerable. Fear thrives on avoidance. The more we run from it, the larger it looms. But when we confront it, fear begins to shrink. Seneca reminds us we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. This truth underscores the power of action over inaction. Facing fear, even in small steps, dismantles the illusions it creates. To confront fear and insecurity, start by acknowledging them. Denial only gives them more power. Reflect on what you fear most. Is it a failure, rejection, uncertainty? Once you name your fear, you can begin to understand it. Next, take deliberate action. Start small. If public speaking terrifies you, begin by speaking to a small group of friends. If fear of failure holds you back, set a modest goal and work toward it, embracing the possibility of imperfection. Each small victory builds momentum and confidence. The Stoics believed in the power of preparation. Marcus Aurelius advised, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Preparing mentally and emotionally for challenges equips you to face them with courage. Insecurity often walks hand in hand with fear. It tells us we are not enough, that we must prove our worth. But the truth is, your worth is intrinsic. It is not tied to your achievements, your appearance, or the approval of others. When you confront insecurity, you strip it of its power to dictate your life. Ask yourself, what would I do if fear and insecurity no longer controlled me? Visualize the life you could lead, the risks you could take, and the growth you could achieve. Let this vision inspire you to take action. Fear is not your enemy. It is your teacher, guiding you to the edges of your comfort zone and beyond. Confront it with courage and curiosity. Each step you take not only diminishes fear, but also reveals the boundless potential within you. In facing fear, you do not just conquer it, you transform it into a source of strength and self-knowledge. And in doing so, you answer the profound question, who am I? You are more capable, resilient, and extraordinary than you ever imagined. As we reach the end of this journey, one truth stands clear. The path to a meaningful life begins within. Through the wisdom of Stoic philosophy, we've explored how to define your core values, break free from external definitions of success, build a clear life purpose, act decisively, face challenges, accept imperfection, and confront fear. Each of these steps leads to a deeper understanding of yourself and a life aligned with your true essence. Remember the words of Marcus Aurelius. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Your thoughts shape your reality, and your actions define your destiny. It's not the world around you that determines your worth, but the strength and clarity you find within. Now it's your turn. Reflect on your own journey. What challenges have shaped you? What values guide your decisions? What fears are holding you back? Share your story in the comments below, not just to connect with others, but to affirm your own growth. By sharing, you might inspire someone else to begin their journey of self-discovery. Your experiences, no matter how ordinary they seem, hold lessons that can uplift others. The journey to discovering your destiny is not a destination, it's a lifelong practice. Continue to embrace wisdom, seek personal growth, and live with intention. In doing so, you don't just find meaning, you create it. Let your story be a beacon for others to follow.